Social media has given us the ability to see what everyone in the world is doing. You know, back in the day, we used to be in small tribes of about 150 people, where you'd only be concerned about what 150 people were doing. And of those 150 people, like 30 or 40 of them would be so young that you didn't really care about them or care about their achievements. And another 30 to 40 were like old, they had lived their lives. So what they were doing, you're just like, you know what, I'm young, whatever. And you know, the fact that we can see what virtually everyone's doing in the world, it's a positive because we can see what's possible. We can see what the human race can actually do. The human race. It's a human race. Yeah. Well, we can see what humans can actually do. And from seeing what other people do, we can be inspired. But the negative of this is that we can see what everyone's doing. We can see all the success that someone else is achieving. And instead of being inspired, we feel like we're not enough. We feel like we aren't doing enough. And you know what? Oftentimes, that is the case. Oftentimes, you should be doing more. Because you know, I'm notorious for saying this. People, whenever I compare, or I say that, you know what, there are people who are earning like $50,000 a month, and people want me to settle for a job that pays $40,000 a year. People will be like, comparison's the thief of joy. And my response is sometimes you don't deserve to have joy. Sometimes you need to know that you're selling yourself short. In the case of this video, I'm talking about comparison where it's like you're genuinely trying, you're genuinely improving, and you see a 21-year-old millionaire from Kazakhstan and you're like, I should be doing more. What I want you to realize is that there will always be someone better than you. There will always be someone with more money, who's more handsome, who's taller, who's stronger. There will always be someone who's better than you in some arena. And I don't say this to demotivate you. I say this to free you. The fact that there will always be someone better than you doesn't mean that you should stop fighting altogether. But it means that you should focus on yourself. You should focus on bettering yourself. What I've come to find is that we find long-term satisfaction and fulfillment in improving, in being better than who you were yesterday. Because fair enough, when you win a competition, you're like, I won the competition, but that thrill of winning a competition, it goes after like 2 days. The long-term satisfaction comes from knowing that, you know what, I've improved. I've bettered myself. So focus on improving yourself. Do not compare yourself to others. Instead, compete with other people, but compare yourself to your past self. You can't compare yourself to other people because other people have had completely different lives. Other people have had the perfect mixture of events, of circumstances to bring them to the place that they're in today. See, people will look at Iman Gaji and be like, he's a 23-year-old millionaire. I'm not saying you can't be a 23-year-old millionaire. You genuinely can. If you're older than 23, then tough. You can be a 26-year-old millionaire. You can be a 27-year-old millionaire. I'm not going to be one to say that you can't do anything. But I will say it's very unwise to compare yourself to someone else. Because as I said, they've had circumstances, they've had events that only they've had, experiences that only they've been through, that have shaped and molded them into a person. And you may say that, so many people, let's say an experience is like your parents divorcing. You may say that, billions of people have experienced that. But in each case, it's different. In each case, there are different, characteristics. And because of all those different characteristics, it's created that person into, who they are. So to compare yourself to someone who's at a life situation that is, completely different to yours, doesn't make sense. So as I said before, you only be truly content if you are improving. If you are beating the man who existed the day before. You could be better than everyone else. You could have the better bank account, you could have the better car, you could have the better everything. But if you're slacking, if you're not improving on yourself, you will never be content because deep down you'll know that you could be doing more. Deep down you know that you can still improve. We do not find fulfillment in being better than others. Instead, we find it in being better than our past self.